So I got to meet up with one of my coworkers for lunch at a Korean barbecue place in Sandy, and I had to go to Midway to pick up a package at the post office. I looked at the map and saw that the shortest route from Sandy to Midway is up Big Cottonwood Canyon and over the mountain. It looked like a nice ride, so I took my bike. If you want to skip ahead to where the nice scenery begins, fast forward to about 9 minutes and 30 seconds. At that point, the trees start to get bright yellow, and there are some great views. If you want to see the brilliant red trees, fast forward to 19 minutes in. The ride from the top of the mountain down to Midway is awesome at this time of year. From Midway, I rode up Forest Road 114 again, of course, past our last camp spot. Still a nice ride, though the colors are faded a bit from what they were a week ago. Toward the end of the video, I go down Utah Highway 92. It's that very tight, twisty road that goes from American Fork Canyon past Sundance to Provo Canyon and Highway 189. Throughout this video, I'm off my normal pace a bit. Both my tires are near the end of their life, so I'm not pushing the throttle too much and not pushing hard in the corners. By the time I got back to camp at the end of this ride, there was metal showing through on the sides of the front tire. Along the way, I'll be making some commentary about a few of the other drivers on the road. Naturally, my comments are made with the understanding that my own driving is wide open to criticism for a variety of reasons. I know that. Trigger warning. If you are offended by passing on double yellow lines, you should probably stop watching now. So this is a pretty nice ride going up this canyon. The views are nice, the road is good. There's a lot of cool rock formations and different trees and all kinds of things here. Like that oil on the road, that's always a nice thing to see there. Now up ahead here, we got a truck pulling a camper trailer, travel trailer. And this truck is just blowing black smoke like crazy. So it's a diesel and it's probably got some sort of a power tune on it. I'm not a fan of that at all. I got a diesel truck to pull our fifth wheel and it's got a tune on it that works really well, and even when pushing hard up a steep hill under heavy load, it doesn't make any black smoke like that. So to me, this just makes diesel trucks look bad. I know some people think it's cool, but I'm not really into that. Now I gotta respect all these people on bicycles up here. They're the ones with the real stones. Now we're coming up on this guy on this some sort of a cruiser here. And this guy's taking his time behind all the traffic, and he's also wobbling all over the place. So kind of makes me wonder what would happen if he did try to pass somebody. It's looking a little bit sketchy to me. Oh, looks like he might have been thinking about a pass right there, but then decided against it. There, I got a little bug on my visor, so I'm trying to flick it off there. Bug probably landed right in front of my eyeball or something. There's a little bit of a dangerous thing coming up here. See, this car is backing out from the right. I was going a little bit too fast for this kind of situation. I was lucky that that guy saw me and stopped, but yeah, I should have been more careful right there. And here we have the turn that goes off to Midway. If you go straight here, you get up to Brighton, I think it is. We're going to turn left and go over the mountain to Midway. And this is where we start getting some more really nice views. If you look over to the left coming up over here, you can kind of see back down the canyon. It's really pretty looking out that way. Now this guy was looking at the view, and he was having a hard time staying in his lane. Looked like he was about to drive off the left side of the road there a couple of times. So here he's coming around a corner to the right, and he gets right into the other lane. That's a good place to be for a right-hand corner. It looks like he's from Georgia. I think that's a Georgia plate. So here we go. We're going to come up to the little bit of a crest of a hill. Oh, stay in your lane there, buddy. Okay, he's back in his lane. Oh, now he's in the other lane again. Okay, now he's coming over the crest of this hill in the other lane. That's a nice place to be right there. Yep, there we go. Okay, now while I pass you, just make sure you come really close over here. That's great. Now, I get it that some of these people that never seen these kind of views before, never driven in the mountains like this, but I think they got mountains in Georgia. I'm pretty sure they do. So we're almost up to the top of the pass here. These trees are starting to get really nice and brilliant yellow colors. So coming up here is a really good example of why you never want to be going 100% on a road like this. So you got this blind corner coming up right here, and right there is a car stopped in the road and another car coming the other way. So if I'd been going too fast to stop, that would have been ugly. This video doesn't really do the colors justice here, but you can see they're pretty spectacular. I'm back on Forest Road 114, going back up the mountain. And by this time I can really feel the tire. The front tire's getting kind of wonky. So, taking it pretty easy here. So this is the intersection where FR 114 tees off with Utah 92. So if you turn left here, you go down to Provo Canyon. If you turn right, you go down to American Fork Canyon. So I'm going to turn left. Now this road, you see, it's very, very tiny and twisty. A lot of places there's barely enough room for cars to get by each other, and they're often driving off the right side of the road to make more room. So getting by these people is sometimes tricky. You got to be able to see far enough ahead or be able to see up around a corner, which, because there's a lot of trees, it's sometimes hard to do. And you got to be really careful going around the blind corners because people tend to cut in pretty tight when they're coming up, turning a left-hand corner. And if you go wide on the right-hand corner going down, you'll be too close to them. Now this part only lasts about 3.5 miles or so it's not really too far. But it's pretty slow going, so you don't get there very fast. Now we got a Porsche right here. Looks like a Boxster or something like that. Must be pure torture for those guys. They got a nice fast car and they get jammed up here, and there's no way you could pass somebody. Oh, here's a guy in a Vette. Same thing. Must be rough for them. Yeah, if I was driving one of those cars, there's no way I would risk passing somebody on this road. There's just not enough room. I mean, the thing is, there's enough room, but you'd have to be going so fast that if you went off the road, you'd tear something up. So, bummer for them. Video's going to wrap up here pretty soon. So this was a fun ride. I made it back without any issue. Tire made it. It was showing metal by the time I got back. So, you know, it was pretty much toasted. The rear hadn't shown cords yet, but it was almost there.